Hello guys and welcome to HRL Season 5. This is Grand Finals. Round number 2, Prison Yard SX going to get right into the heats. Here we go. Gate is dropped, green flag. Should be a pretty fun set of heats here. Prison Yard is a... what track could I compare it to? I'm honestly not really sure. It's a, I would say, a more intermediate supercross. There's a lot of sections that are designed more or less just to be fun and competitive, but then there's also a couple sections where I think that some people are definitely going to be gaining some time more so than others. Particularly, there is, it's more so towards the end of the track or the skill sections, actually. Like, the entire last half, I just realized this in my head, is like the hardest part of the track. So you got this rollover here, which is tricky. I think that's one place where people are going to be gaining time. Then right after it, you have that curvy section that has two different types of lines, whether you run inside and outside. That one can be pretty difficult, and you can definitely gain time on it depending on how you time your jumps. And then that last section there going into the finish line where you can jump the rollover. Obviously, if you can jump it better than other people, you're going to be gaining time, and that's one of those places where I think people are going to benefit from knowing where to land, essentially, and that's going to help them gain some time. But then the rest of the track, the first section is pretty simple. Then you have your typical, not typical actually, we don't have these on many supercrosses. You have your Ned Camber section, which is pretty fun. Can definitely gain some time there, possibly make passes. Then it goes into, right after that we have a, like, I think it's like a split section. Inside is more like a double, and then the outside's more like a triple. I just got cheesed because I was trying to see it, but obviously, you know, racers around the track are going pretty fast, so it was hard for me to see it again. But right after that, you have like an on-off into a, I think it's a double. It's supposed to be a triple, but I think it's a double, and then some whoops, and then link back up to the hard part. So that's pretty much the overview of the track. I'd say the hardest part of it, like I said, definitely towards the latter half of the track. Is way harder than anything else. So, like I said, probably about like an intermediate, not as easy as something like Dalium, not as hard as something like East Bay or Salt Lake. So somewhere in the middle. Should be pretty fun for Champ Series. So far in this heat, I think we got, I think Roman's in the lead. Check again. Yep. Okay, Roman in the lead, Real Deal in second, Detail in third. Roman coming out with the pole for this race. The pole, actually, the qualifying for Champ Series for Grand Finals, geez, really interesting because, and I can share this even though we haven't gotten to the third race yet because we did qualifying all before anyways. We did qualifying and then we got to racing, so we did it on all the tracks. So Opex got the pole on Hollywood, Roman got the pole on this track, and I think, let me double check, I believe Real Deal got the pole on the GP, so interesting qualifying. Like, that whole set of qualifying is vastly different than what we've had during the regular season. In fact, we had two people get pole, Opix and Real Deal, that hadn't had a pole in the regular season. In the entire regular season, they didn't get one. So I thought that was a very interesting fact right there, that those guys both got a pole in Grand Finals when they didn't even have one in regular season. So that just, like, you already know Grand Finals is going to be interesting just from that. 2 laps to go here. By the way, those guys on the side, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, they're not like people that are done racing. They're just spectating. There's a lot of invisibarriers placed around the track. I placed them right before we raced because, I mean, if you just take a look at the track, you can see there's a lot of places where you can cross section. So I wasn't really worried about people cutting. I was more so worried about people running into somebody that's running a different section, because there's a lot of places you can do that on here. And then obviously, like in the middle part right there with those white lines, there's nothing you can do about that that part, but the other parts of the track you can actually control it a little bit. So it's a little hard once you're on the track to get back off, and that's why those people are hanging out by that berm, because nobody, you know, that berm's basically a grandstand anyways. If you're not using it on the first lap, then you're probably not going to use it during the race. So it's their little personal grandstand. White flag, final lap here. Roman still in the lead. I think we still got Real Deal second, Detail third, right? Believe so. Looks like it. Battle in the back between Vulcan and Justice. A nice little wide shot here. You can see most of the track. Another fun fact, another fun tidbit of information. This track was made by X-Rains in Halo 4. I think it was one of his last tracks that he made. I'm not really sure. I think maybe it was one of his last reviews. He could have made other tracks though. And I saw it in a review and I was like, dude, this track is dope. I've never seen it raced on. It needs to be raced on, so that's why we forged it. And it turns out to be really fun track to just run laps on. Here we go to the finish. Roman takes the heat win. Oh, Detail possibly contending for second place, but Real Deal's not going to let it happen. Real Deal's going to take second, Detail third, and we should have fourth and fifth. Looks like Justice is going to take fourth, and then Vulcan in fifth. Alright, so there's your results again on screen. Gonna get into the next heat here in just a second. Alright, here we go. Bit of a longer crawl for this one, so you guys can actually see who is racing in this heat. And it looks like we're ready to go. Green flag gonna pop anytime now. And here we go, green flag. Pretty tight start. It looks like Uncle Blake actually with the hole shot. Papa Solange in second, and we got, who's that in third? I think that's Opix right there in third. Pretty close battle for the lead right now. Ooh, Opix with an aggressive move, and he's gonna end up taking out Solange. That's one of those you can't really blame Opix for that. I've seen that. I've done that before. I've seen that happen many times. It's one of those Halo 5 physics things. If you try to make a aggressive pass on a negative camber, sometimes you get like stuck on the other person and you're trying to turn. Like, you could clearly tell Opix is trying to turn there. Like, there's no reason he should be trying to run Solange off the track. So it's just one of those things that comes with racing, I guess. It just cheeses you in this game. Alright guys, sorry, I don't know if you could hear that on the mic. I'm guessing you probably could, but I was getting calls up the butt cheeks, so I had to answer my yelling. Man, I shouldn't have even said that. I guess I just wanted to address it in case you could hear it in the mic, because I didn't check my audio, but I'm pretty sure you probably heard that in the mic. It's gonna sound really weird if you couldn't, because then I could have gotten away with it. Anyways, so we got Uncle Blake here in the lead. Is that Fireball? Yep, looks like Fireball contesting for that as well. Hoping for no lag cheese like we saw in the wild card. The lag cheese definitely affected him pretty strongly. In the wild card. I think you could. Oh my God, what kind of move was that? I think it's fair to say that Fireball probably could have had a better chance. Probably could have locked in, even with how good Real Deal did. He probably could have locked in that third place points if it weren't for the lag cheese that he suffered. So it's one of those things where, like, you never know if it's gonna happen, and if it does, it's it's just whatever. Like, there's not much you could do about it, really. Just unfortunate. It sucks that people are still plagued by the lag cheese, It's 2018, actually. Holy crap. I swear I did that properly the other day. I said 2018 instead of 2017, and now it's 5 days into 2018, and I said 2017. It's the same thing as Grand Finals and Champ Series. Anyways, I can't believe it's 2018, and we're still getting hit with internet cheese, It just kind of sucks. Like, I wish that was a thing of the past, but I guess it's always going to be a thing until 2100 and people are freaking having cheese with their internet, or actually. Hey
guys, this is Luch's twin Cooch, and I'll be taking over this commentary. Luch had some brain issues right there, so now I'm going to be taking over the commentary, and yeah. So we have this really nice race going on here, and we got the Solange second. I think it's Uncle Blake who's first, and Hunter is Fireball fourth. Fireball hit himself with the cheese. Probably could have had a chance at the heat win if they hit himself with the cheese because he's dumb. So yeah, Fireball is really stupid. Anyways, who we got in fifth though? So Alex is, I think that's Alex in fifth. Alex trying to have a good run here, Obviously didn't have the Hollywood that he wished for, but now he's got the Supercross, and maybe he can improve. Hunter and Fireball battling really hard. Oh, contact to the sidewall, and Fireball's gonna go by him, and he's gonna take the third place position. It's battle for the semi-transfer spot. It's actually pretty close. You got Hunter and Alex there as well. It's pretty intense. Alright, let's see. Going through here. Fireball, Hunter, Alex, and Uncle Blake still got the lead. Saunch with quite a big gap to gain. But definitely possible. It's going to take quite a lot of work. It's probably going to take an Uncle Blake mistake as well. Uncle Blake mistake, that rhymes. That's pretty sick. He's going to run the outside. So most people opted for the inside in the curvy section. Uncle Blake's going to hit the outside, and it's hard. You can tell right there it's hard to hit the outside, and he messes up. Loses some time. Now Saunch is going to gain a little bit. Uncle Blake hits final lap. Final lap. White flag. 1 lap to go. Going around into the first section. And it looks like Uncle Blake running it pretty clean. Pretty clean so far. Saunch trying to catch up in second. Not really doing too shabby. We got Fireball still in third, trying to lock in that semi-transfer spot. We got Uncle Blake right here. Oh, little mistake on Uncle Blake. He's going to lose a bit. That rhymed too. Wow, I really like his name now. I like how his name rhymes with everything. Anyways, Uncle Blake going to try to work it up the rollover here. Oh, no! What was that?
Alright, I'm going to break character here for a second. How does that happen? How can you overrun it that bad? On the final lap.
Well, we got Uncle Blake calling the shots right there. Shots going to take over. He's going to take the lead win. Crazy fish. Fireball up there as well. And Alex going to be Hunter. Alex going to get fourth. That's crazy, dude. There's your results. And Cooch out.